in what could be the series finale. We're coming off a big episode, the entirety of season 4 outside of this one game. The Super Bowl in Miami versus the undefeated 17-0, make it 19-0 Buffalo Bills. With a 93 rated offense, a 85 defense, Lamar Jackson at quarterback, and essentially a top 10 unit across the board. Meanwhile, in our playoff games, we barely pulled off wins, though largely that's due to our starters not being out there. We have struggled with stamina because Madden decided to turn on progressive fatigue, something we don't use. But I think I found a fix. And essentially, all I had to do was go turn progressive fatigue back on, go into a practice, half pads, put in all the backups, and we got Jonathan Taylor's fatigue up here to a yellowish green. So we should see him play. Additionally, I also messed with the auto subs. Now normally, I have a lot of these kind of tweaked around, especially where we have depth. What we're doing to try to keep the starters out there as much as possible. Everyone is going out when they hit 60, and hopefully coming back in when they're up to 70. That's going to be across the board outside of quarterback, because I want to make sure we have our starters out there against an undefeated Buffalo Bills. That might also mean that we have to jump in a little bit more often just to make sure we're rotating guys where we need to, especially getting Alex Church out there. We would not be where we are in this postseason without his play. And on top of that, shout out to all the backup receivers, even Juan Morris. 2 touchdowns in the postseason. We didn't see anything from our starters. We only saw Cephas. Now, one bad thing heading into this game is we are without Allen Lazard. He suffered an injury in practice, leaving us with 2 tight ends. So we're going to need to see a little bit of Ingold. I'm not going to have Derby play tight end. I want Ingold there as tight end 3, just in case, and then Derby can be tight end 4 if needed. But without further ado, let's get this Super Bowl underway. Now we'll be getting back to how this series is supposed to run. With us out here viewing though, again, we'll jump in if we need to, especially for some rotation. But it is the true ones out there. Jonathan Taylor, he takes the handoff and he is stuffed. The first carry we've seen from him in weeks, and he's already huffing and puffing thereafter. We'll see how long he could stay in the game. 2nd and 10, Brock Purdy will go up to him as he will pick up about 2. Already seen the Bills flying around. He is staying out there for 3rd and 8. We got 3 options down below. Brock Purdy under pressure gets it to Cephas with a 4th and inches. Not too sure I agree with that spotting, but we're keeping the offense out here. And it really is just a millimeter needed. Church at running back, though it's Ingold spinning, but they still say we don't have enough. It's a turnover on downs. And while part of me wants to challenge that, we're not going to risk it this early. Instead, Bills take over with a short field at the 35. Jackson, quick throw to the flat, and a stiff arm. It's going to be a gain of 8. Already a much better start there for the Bills. I formed to follow as they hand it off, and a first down, slipping a couple tackles. Dameon Pierce, last time this team met around the midpoint of the season, he had a great game. 1st and 10, they go back to him, and this time he is stuffed. We could also definitely use some turnovers in this game, though Jackson has kept things pretty clean this year. They go RPO up top and a gain of 4. If only we could get a stop here as they go play action off the draw. Jackson diving pass breakup. Welcome back, Sidney Brown. After a turnover on downs, just forcing a field goal attempt here kind of feels like a win. As it is up, Bills take an early lead. We just need the offense to take that next step forward. Actually pick up a 1st down here, even though it looked like we had it on a couple occasions. 1st and 10, we start with a pass. Purdy under pressure is going to have to roll. Still trying to find somewhere to go. Eventually he chucks it away. Of course, we are missing one of our best offensive linemen in Quinn Miners. He got injured I want to say one of the final games of the season. Swinging it out up top is Taylor. He's going to have to run for about 4 or 5 yards just to get back to the line. With how quick this Bills defense is, we got to keep the play down the field here. 3rd and 10. We got 3 options down below, 1 up top. Purdy, he's got some time for now, as he eventually will just chuck it away. It's been a great start for the Bills defense. Now, though, they do have to start in their own side of the field at the 41 following the punt. Jackson, with a quick pass, will find a gain of 6. Chris Olave already with 2 grabs in this one, as it leaves them with 2nd and 4. They're stacking the front, though they will pass quickly, tipped at the line, might have went off of a helmet. It honestly happened so fast, I don't really see what happened. Does leave us with a 3rd and 6, though. Double A gap look for our defense. We back out into coverage, and it's going to be picked off. It is Adams, the Pro Bowler. He's at the 30, the 20, 10, 5. No one's going to catch him. The 8th interception on the year for Lamar Jackson is a big one. Vikings take the lead. And hopefully, with that momentum, start to become a little bit more dominant here. Defense has done pretty well out the gate. Jackson finds the throw this time back to Olave. We also are suffering a big injury for our cornerback group as well. Newsome, he tore his pectoral, and that was, again, like right before the end of the season. So we've been having to deal with backups. Rolling, perfect throw, finds his target. It is Anderson with a gain of 9. Under pressure with Jackson, and just a beautiful throw. 2nd and 1, they go pistol. Hand this one off Dameon Pierce, who will pick up the first down. How about 6 more? Make it a 1st and 10 into plus territory at the 43. Jackson the hard count, no one jumps. We send 4, and he will throw downfield, and finding his tight end. Down to the 29 is Sam Laporta. If I'm not mistaken, that's another tight end we could have used in this challenge. Though, with a 1st and 10, he makes a good play against us. Jackson with a deep drop back, checking this one down with a little bit of space to run after the catch. Will make it 2nd and 4. Believe that is a draft E in Foster. They go with the I form to follow. Dameon Pierce, the running back. Fullback to help lead the way, and he will find a gap, gashing it down to the 10. Strong play there to end the first quarter. To start the second, it's 1st and goal, empty set for Jackson. Got to make sure he doesn't scramble. We bring an extra guy, but it's a touchdown pass. Sidney Brown sat in pretty good coverage, but a great throw and a great catch. Terry McLaurin ends up putting the Bills back on top. And despite having a touchdown on the board, at least in this one, the offense has still yet to gain a 1st down. Starting under center will be a pass from Purdy. Lofting, there is not a 1st down. It is dropped by Bateman. Trevontae Burks injured for the Bills on the play. Leaves us with a 2nd and 10 facing a double A gap look. They just bring 4, but it's an immediate pass towards the top. Taylor will have to run 7 yards for a gain of 2. It's not quite calling the plays I would have liked. 3rd and 8. Give me a 1st down and I'm taking over. There will be a throw here. Purdy going up top, and he finds Traynor up to the 40. That's good enough for me. There was one thing this team, not that you can really say struggled with, but has done the worst at. It's run defense. Church is checking in here as we get a nice little set of blocking. A flag comes down almost immediately, though. And they're going to get Spencer Brown, who's had to shift over to the opposite side of the line that he typically plays. So maybe with that might come a few more mistakes. Halfback screen here, and not exactly the blocking you'd be looking for. Great play, though, from the linebacker. We maybe gain a yard at best on the screen, leaving us with a 2nd and 18. Come out with a tight shot, or tight single back set, actually, as it's down for Bateman. Gets the grab into plus territory. We just might need a little bit more of those medium shots to try to open up some running lanes. As Church back in here at running back, down the middle, he will pick up a gain of 3. But we might try to utilize a little bit of that speed-power blend to get to the outside on these runs. Ingold shifts it over to a strong eye, as it is a stretch. Good blocking on the outside. Taylor's going to pick up the 1st down and get out of bounds. The more untouched he goes, the longer he might be able to stay in this game. The word from Coach Thomas heading into this one is Taylor will definitely be on a limit of touches. Just try to dealing with the stamina issues we've had as Purdy's got some green grass in front of him. He's going to scamper forward, sliding down with a gain of 15. You can also see a little bit of a slow step to him as well. But 1st and 10 at the 12. Trips to the right-hand side. Taylor, the running back, he finds a lane down the middle and will keep pushing down to the 3. We'll let him get his breather from there. And it looks like Purdy having to make some more changes to the line, probably due to the shakeup. They just need a little bit of some help. Church, the running back here, as that's some good blocking on the edge, though he gets stuck on the pulling guard. Keeps him from the end zone. We saw that in the conference championship as well. Same look here as they hand it off. Church down to the inch line. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Goal line play here for the 3rd straight as Church wiggles and helps with a little bit of push from the linebacker. Gets us into the end zone. We've taken a lead here yet again in Miami. That's just the kind of drive we expect from our offense. Now defense, let's make another set of plays here. 1st and 10. Don't mind the battery low. We'll change that in a play or two as they go halfback screen. Dameon Pierce breaks the tackle of King. Picks up a gain of 12 on it. And that's just something we might have to deal with, having some more players play with lower staminas. 1st and 10. It's Jackson with the RPO, swinging it outside, forcing the play back in. Was a good job from Hobbs, though a gain of 5 for Anderson. And that does take us inside the 2-minute warning. They're up at the 42 with 2 down at the bottom, 1 up top. Jackson making some changes as they will look to pass yet again here. Dump off to Pierce, and we'll get him to the midfield line. Jackson just 3 incomplete passes, though 1. The difference in this one being a pick 6. As we'll drop back to pass yet again. Going up top, wide open. Stays in bounds. There goes Terry McLaurin down to the 26. It's got to be blown coverage. Not sure how you leave a receiver of his caliber that wide open. 1st and 10 inside the 30. Jackson having to spin around a little bit, and he gets stuck with his own lineman. It's a sack for Chauncey Golston. He was a former starter for us the first couple years. Disappeared last year, back into a rotational role this year, making a play in the Super Bowl. As it got time to throw this time, and off the hands of Anderson. Could use a little bit tighter coverage, but I'll take the play. 3rd and 13. Double A gap look for the defense, so they drop back into coverage. Jackson, he's got time. As he loads up, he gets picked again. This time it's Adams. He's at the 40, 50, back to the other 40. In comes Jackson to drag him down inside the 30. They mark him at the 25. He's now picked off Lamar Jackson twice in this one. What a game for the young safety. As the offense has some time to try to widen their lead, but under pressure, throwing away, he still pops Purdy. We'll tack on 15 then, or no, they're going to get us for intentional grounding? Come on now, where's the offsetting penalty at the least? Purdy took a shot to the chin well after releasing it. 2nd and 22 then, and he takes the sack this time. They get 3rd and 24 as they let the clock just run. I imagine they try to set up a last-second field goal then. As they hand this one off, it's Taylor down the middle. He gets it to the 31 to set up McLaughlin. This one from about the 38, a 48-yarder to put us up a touchdown at half. As he nails it right down the center. Make it 17-14. And we'll get straight into the second half, kicking this one away with a lead. The Bills will return up to the 15-20 and dragged down by Van Ginkel. Well, Jackson has played a promising game today. Just 2 plays have really been the big difference maker. 2 interceptions, 1 a pick 6 as his team starts the second half down by 7. A bunch up top for him as he does look to pass. Quick and tipped away, it's Gibbons. If one thing this team has stayed consistent with, it's the promise at linebacker. Edwards back playing after he didn't really have a single snap this postseason. Looks like our changes to the practice worked. King breaks that one up. Now, he's not necessarily a starter, but definitely seeing some rotational role. He actually steps in at sub-linebacker on this one. For 3rd and 10, Jackson dropping back. It's a 4-man pressure and a sack from Adebayor. He had 2 big plays late on in the NFC Conference Championship to seal it, and he gets the punt forced here. What I would love, though, would to see our offense by themselves take control of a drive. And also, if we could run clock as well, all the better. RPO, swinging it out up top. The ball pops free. Bills take right back over at midfield. Bateman trying to say he never had it. Looked like he made a football move and just got lit up. He turns, then gets double smacked. I believe they will count that as a true fumble. And indeed, no challenge comes in from the booth. So 1st and 10, about a yard inside the midfield line. Jackson with an opportunity as he'll drop back to pass, going up top and gonna get it to Sam Laporta. That's what happens when we have Nelson, a pure edge rusher, in coverage. 2nd and 5. Jackson with another quick stop, this time Terry McLaurin, though he pays for it, gets slammed down with the first. Perhaps Edwards trying to force his own fumble. 1st and 10 at the 37. He's making a change at the line. We'll stick with the passing game. That's what they've done all game. Going across to Olave, spins off the St. Jude's tackle, then gets dumped by Edwards. These two teams historic for making the Super Bowl and losing. One of them is going to find a Super Bowl dub here as a great stop from Chenal. We might be 4 linebackers deep, but each of them has a role. He's the run stopper, and he did just that. 3rd and 4, bunch to the bottom. Jackson is going to step up. Great spy from Edwards, slows him down, and Benton grabs that ball and makes sure it doesn't go anywhere further. But in a surprising twist here, the offense is staying out. 4th and 2, they're only down a touchdown. They hand it off to Pierce, and he gets stuffed by Chenal. 2 great run stops from the true run stopper. We take over on offense. What a game we are in witness of today. We start at the 27, and yeah, we're jumping out here with the offense. The OC's not cutting it for me. And that means we're also going to start trying to milk some clock as well. Call it cheeky if you want, but I'm calling it tactics. As we get to the outside, shaking the tackle, picking up the first. Though Taylor might be calling it a little bit of a saving of breath, as he is huffing and puffing out there, as he's going to take his 3rd straight carry right down the gut. Another first down into plus territory. It is quite nice finally seeing the starters back on out here. I was getting worried that we wouldn't have them for the Super Bowl. But with a 1st and 10, it's Church right down the middle, and we are gashing the 11th ranked rush defense. It was a slow build to get to this point, but it's working out pretty well here as we're inside 2 minutes left in the 3rd. Sticking with the I form, a play action rollout, getting it to Ingold, who will try to run through and end up tacking on a couple more yards. We've got the talent. We will use it, keeping the fullback involved, not just as a blocker, though we'll definitely utilize his talent there as well. Church on the toss. Good block from Ingold, cut down lane, and picking up a first down inside the 20. Ground and pound game going to work. As we're approaching the 4th quarter, time for maybe 1 to 2 more plays. As it will be a pass here from Purdy. He will not get rid of it in time. Marcus Lawrence will get the sack. We'll ride that through the 4th quarter break. 2nd and 17. As we come out with a heavy tight end set. Looking to go to Bateman, who has the step and gets tracked down from behind. But it gets us goal to go at the 4. Now we just got to finish off the drive, and Bateman is alone to the outside, quickly flipping out there. But how about the pursuit from the Bills? Maybe toss that a little bit down the field, and you got the easy touchdown. Instead, it's a 2nd and goal. Spread empty look here as Purdy making some changes. Good coverage across the board. Purdy's going to step up, and he's going to rumble down to the inch line. Always got to appreciate the quarterback lowering the shoulder. But we've got a goal line situation here. As we hand it off, Ingold slips the tackle and widens the lead in the 4th quarter. We've taken a 14-point advantage. looking to be the second and final state-only challenge to win the Super Bowl here, Madden 24. And the Bills start backed up, though, quickly. Getting upfield, Sam Laporta. I'm sure Jackson feeling the weight of those interceptions on his shoulders right now, as his team is down 2 possessions and he's thrown 2 picks. And dropped and then speared. Wow, that's gotta hurt. Honestly, both mentally and physically. 2nd and 10, it's spread empty for Jackson. He's got 2 up top, the rest down below. This is a pretty clean pocket. It gives him time to loft it to Olave, though he gets tracked down from behind by Adams. But they flip the field to the opposite 28, a big play for the Bills and one they were desperate for. I formed a follow. They hand it off down the middle, finding a rushing lane. Dameon Pierce is still pushing. He tacks on an extra 4 at the end of it, trying to make up for the 2 run stops on their last drive. 1st and 10, sticking with the I form. Back to Pierce. Good push from the line. Eventually, Chenal will get the tackle. And I'm sure the defense perfectly happy with them running. Just let some clock roll as we move inside 4 minutes left. Jackson throwing, picked off for the 3rd time. It is Cameron Mitchell. He made a name for himself his rookie year, season 1. And a huge play here late on. Who would have thought? Jackson came into this game 7 interceptions on the season. We've made it 10. As Church takes the handoff, he's got all the space to the outside. The build we were looking for coming to fruition. We built an offensive line purely out of power, strength, to dominate the interior blocking, and we've seen that. Ingold now bust off a run for a fullback gain of 3 as Spencer Green injured on the play. And outside of the random Madden turning on the progressive fatigue, this offense has been perfection. Again, towards the build. We've had to rely on a lot of lower overall receivers, but they've come through at the end here, as we're just a few more plays away from being Super Bowl champs. This one out for Traynor, and it's through his hands. I was hoping to give him one more shout, as he was one of those players who really came up out of nowhere. 2nd and 10, they bring the blitz. We get it out with a couple blockers, but a great play there from 22. It's Awuzie who sends us to the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 4. All timeouts still remain for the Bills, so we need 2 first downs, and before we can hand the ball off, DeMarcus Lawrence picks up a sack. So much for the talking about the blocking. Absolute blunder there. It's a good punt, though. Jackson starting back at the 13 and to the flat. He's going to find his target, who's going to pick up a gain of 12, though does not get out of bounds. And Gardner, I think it was the name, flashed too quickly for me to fully read it. Trips up top for Jackson. Quick throw back to Terry McLaurin. Is going to pick up another first down. About a gain of 20. As they're trying to save their timeouts, they are down 2 touchdowns. They've got to find some big plays here. They've already started off pretty hot. They're going right back to the same play. Maybe don't put Edwards man on McLaurin. Maybe to shake up the defense a little bit. We do move inside, a minute left. As Jackson dropping back, lofting up top, and Cameron Mitchell nearly made it 4. Of course, he had to step in for some outside corner spots this year as Newsome suffered a season-ending injury late on. Jackson under pressure here. He's rolling down to the bottom. Here comes, that might have been Mitchell again. Honestly, I didn't see the number. As we see there right at the end, it actually ends up being Hobbs. Both end in a 9, 2 versus 3. But a 3rd and 10 here, Jackson. He's got time in the pocket and misses the mark. Olave was open. Perhaps the weight of those interceptions just too much on the mind. 4th and 10. It is 4th and game here. 34 seconds. They're down 2 scores. They need some touchdowns. A turnover for us, or honestly, if they get the onside. Jackson rolling, and it will be a 4th to seal it. Desmond King looking to add insult to injury. 10-5 Super Bowl win. After not making the playoffs in any year till this. It is a dominant showing, ruining the perfect season of the Buffalo Bills heading into this game. They were 19-0, looking to go 20-0. Instead, we finally get our starters back on that field. We upset Lamar Jackson, 4 picks, 2 of which were pick sixes, and we finish with a 3-touchdown lead. What a season! And especially what a way to end Madden 24, the final state-only challenge, leaving us with one more to start the new edition of Madden 25. It's Brock Purdy holding that Super Bowl Lombardi trophy. Edwards up there. I'm sure we probably got Taylor up there as well. But of course, we've got to mention one group, and that's got to be the backups. We would not have had a chance at the Super Bowl if they did not take care of business in the wild card, the Divisional, and the NFC Conference Championship. I mean, it was all on a few guys. Church really carried us. Juan Morris popped off for 2 big plays, including game-winning touchdowns. Unfortunately, Allen Lazard didn't get to play in this one, but he was a part of that group. The offensive line did stick around for the most part. Quintez Cephas was a big part, and defensively, I mean, a lot of different guys made plays. Tony Adams probably had his best season after being a Pro Bowler last year. We had to deal with injuries. And I mean, a huge shout out to Cameron Mitchell in that game. He came in and had a fantastic game against Olave, Terry McLaurin. We gave up a couple plays here and there. The linebackers played well. Gabriel had some good plays. Edge rushers, I mean, everyone really stepped up. Now, last one I'm going to shout out is Adebayor, who just sat buried on this depth chart for 4 straight years. In fact, I think he was on the practice squad for 2, if not 3 years. And he had some phenomenal key plays that helped us seal 2 wins, the NFC Conference Championship and the Super Bowl. Major props. But this officially wraps out Madden 24. On Thursday, we will start our final state-only challenge, so make sure you do not miss it. We finished off Madden 24, 2 straight Super Bowls. I would love to also get a Super Bowl to start Madden 25, and then we'll probably jump into some form of a traditional franchise as we normally do. Also, if you missed today's earlier video, the start of Season 2 of the Stanford Cardinal Dynasty over on college football, make sure you check that out as well. I'm hoping that one went just as good as this one went, considering I am recording this prior to that. We start off in Hawaii, so we'll see you there if we haven't already. And then Madden 25 on Thursday. Buckle up as we start our final state-only challenge.